Alrighty, today is Sunday. We're going to do our walkabout. We didn't do one last week, but there wasn't much to update you on. There really isn't a whole lot to update on this week either. One thing though, we did get about 3.5 inches of rain this week, which was great because we definitely needed it. We didn't have no rain for about 4 weeks here, which is really, really strange, especially in May and June. But anyways, I got all the tomatoes in here, growing really nice, looking good, pruned up, hanging. Onions are looking good in here as well. We got 2 little sunflowers. I don't know what bird crapped them out, but I'm gonna let them grow. Some of these tomatoes is actually getting pretty good. Some of these are really nice tomato plants already. There's lots of flowers. No tomatoes yet, but plenty of flowers. Actually, there might be some tomatoes. Yeah, actually, this in here did set some fruit. That's the first fruit I've noticed set so far in here. But yeah, it's time every week now. I'll go through and prune them, twist them up. I didn't prune them today. I weeded in here today. Well, not everything, but I weeded the tomatoes and twisted them again. But I never went through and pruned them. Ginger, yeah, it's hit and miss. I don't know why this year it's not growing real good. Last year we had it up here, it took off like crazy, but we started it in the house. This year we just put it in the ground, so that's probably why it's not growing like it was. But we'll still get a harvest. How much, I have no idea. Not near as much as we need, but it'll be what it'll be.
Surprise!
Yeah. There's 2 squash there of some kind. I don't know exactly what they are. The chickens planted them there out of all the stuff we fed them, so it's all good. Down here we planted a bunch of winter squash. The lamb's quarters there by itself. We didn't put it there. This nice sunflowers growing all by itself. A lot of stuff in here actually is volunteer. This morning when I was weeding, I come through and pulled the weeds out a little bit, and then just mulched them around the plants so they'll keep it moist and brought up and keep it as a mulch. And there's a couple of tomatoes that started themselves.
Volunteer again.
Volunteers, yeah. I don't know what kind of tomatoes they are, it doesn't really matter, I'll keep them there.
Might be the best ones ever.
There's a squash of some sort right here. Several sunflowers, which that doesn't surprise me. This was a sunflower bed the last 2 years, so that don't surprise me at all. We got a broccoli here that's a surprise. We didn't put it there, but I'm not going to get rid of it. We did plant a bunch of Mexican sunflowers. Carol almost stepped on that one. We planted a bunch of Mexican sunflowers along the fence. I don't know, last week one day. I'm not sure when it was exactly. And then squashes, loofahs and squashes and stuff on this side. That's compost. I need to get it flipped. I'll probably flip it tomorrow when I get home. Maybe. She harvested a bunch of garlic scapes, and we got a bunch more we need to get this week before the market. Lettuce, it's growing like crazy. I harvested, I don't even know how much of that yesterday or Friday.
What did we have, like 15?
17, 18 bags we took to market. This year was carrot, well, still is carrots. So I didn't get rid of the carrots that are there, but I put beets in this bed this morning after I weeded. And then the deer got in and ate our frickin' beans again this year. So I put another run of pole beans to the side there. Most of those will probably come back if the deer don't come back, but they all won't. And then the same thing in this bed. These are our bush beans, and the deer got in there and ate them, so I put a run down the center, which it'll be all right if the deer don't come back. I put bone sauce and electric on that side of the fence because that side of the fence is pretty low. They could still jump this too, but this is on here to make the fence look taller than it really is. And on the other end, they ate the top out of the beans or peas about down to about here. Probably one pole or pole and a half in from that end on both sides of the cattle panel. Deer dams, what do? We had it last year too. But last year we had it down there, not up here. You can come here and see this mess. I'm not sure what these are, but they're starting to flower.
My lilies.
Lilies and weeds. This here is a total weed fest, this garden bed is. But our yuccas are blooming for the first time.
Mm-hmm.
They've never bloomed. We got 4 or 5 of them out through there that's blooming.
Well, how long do you think we had them planted in here?
The yuccas?
Yeah.
3
years?
3 or 4, probably. Somewhere in there. My grannies are growing really nice. This right here is a rhubarb I'm letting go to seed. Just this one head. I cut all the other heads off and let this one go to seed. I just want to harvest some of the seed from this, just to see how much better them seeds will be than what I usually buy for next year. Our chickens, they're all together now, the little ones and the big ones. I got 2 fences up right now, but I need to take the fences down and just put one up around both of them. For the most part, they get along all right. Once in a while, this big one snaps, but some of the small ones snap back. Some don't. But they're doing really good. They're doing really good. I ain't got nothing for you.
You guys want on camera?
Yeah, you're gonna be famous. I'm not sure what kind that one is right there, but all fuzzy face. Looks like you can't even see how her fuzz growing off her face, covering her eyeballs up. Her feet's all covered up. I don't know what kind it is, but definitely gonna be cold hardy, that's for sure.
We call her Angel Wing.
Yeah. If I had to guess, I'd say it's probably a rooster, but I don't know that for sure. Tomatoes, I put a video out, I can't remember exactly when it was, where and they definitely made a difference in them already. I fertilized them with some tomato fertilizer that I made out of tomato plants, and I'll leave a link to it below that video to show you how I did it. And then I'll show you that when I did it. And I'll put an update video out on that probably this week sometime, maybe next, I'm not sure. Peppers are doing good. Like I say, it's because we got all that rain this week. They're doing pretty well. This bed here's beets, but it's got a lot of, which I think looks cool. Can't think what that's called.
Amaranth.
Amaranth in there growing, which that amaranth, it must have been, I don't know, we ain't done amaranth for years, but there must have been a bunch of seeds in the compost that I had up there and I brought down this year, because there's amaranth in the pepper bed, in the beet bed, and in the squash bed. All of them have amaranth grown in them. In this bed here's what we had potatoes in last year, and there's a couple of potatoes coming up through again. I pulled them the first couple of times, and after a while I figured the heck with them grow. But I put a row of pole beans down this side of it, so I don't think the deer's going to get in through the electric. I mean, they could jump it, but I don't think they will when it shocks them. So I put pole beans down this side of that, so that actually, them with the beans being a legume, it'll actually feed the squash anyway. So it's going to be a win-win once they germinate and start growing. And I also put a bunch of dill in there. I didn't notice any dill coming up, but I did notice some broccoli I started from seed coming up in that bed earlier today. And then on this side, I put bush beans down this side in that same bed. So the squashes will be sandwiched between bush beans and pole beans, but it is what it is. This bed here we planted out the other day. It has peppers and I'm not sure what all, just a bunch of leftover stuff. We put some Mexican sunflowers and a couple peppers in it. And some flowers down on that far end, other flowers. This here's, I think this is our hot pepper. No, this is our sweet peppers, and that up there's our hot pepper, sorry. So Yeah, they're doing pretty well, but the ones in the middle, I'm not sure what kind they was, but they were small to begin with when we planted them. But everything's looking pretty well. This bed here has pinto beans in this bed, and some of them starting to germinate, some's not, but it's been pretty dry, but we did get some rain, like I said. So there's definitely helping them. I can see a few coming up. This here bed has our sweet potatoes. For the most part, they're going pretty good. I'm probably going to go through and plant some more of them, just to pop in some that didn't survive, which ain't that big a deal. It won't take but a few minutes to put them back in. This bed here was going to be, well, still is going to be corn. I bought corn seeds where I knew the seeds there I had issues with before, but when we made our seed order this winter, I didn't order sweet corn, so I was kind of in a pinch to get them. So I got them there. As you can see, 8 rows been in about 2.5 weeks. We got about 6 or 8 corns coming up. There's a fair bit of weeds in there, but we ordered sweet corn from Haas Tools this morning. It's a 75-day corn. It's going to be pushing our limits to get it, but we still should have corn mid to late September, hopefully. If it goes into October, we probably won't get any corn because it'll freeze out before year's up. This bed here, I made a video. I started a video. I didn't finish making the video yet because I want to let it go for a few weeks to see how they're going to grow. Where we planted a bunch of squash and watermelons and marigolds down in this mound on the outside of the garden. Marigolds are looking pretty well, and a lot of the squash is coming up, but I need to finish that video. But when it does come out in a few weeks, I'll try to remember to put a link for that one below. If you're a few weeks before you see this, you may see that one below. Our walking onions are starting to head up. Soon they'll fall over. This bed here, I need to get it wood chipped again and get some cardboard and wood chips. The weeds are overrunning this bed. A lot of the trees are coming up. I thought some of them wasn't going to make it, but some of them are coming up. But horseradish and comfrey's doing pretty good for the most part out through here. And I do have more comfrey I need to put in somewhere. Not real sure where I'm going to put it at yet, but I got 20 more roots in the refrigerator. Potatoes are doing pretty good, as you can see. We had a few late frosts and it damaged them, but they're doing pretty good for the most part. But they're definitely coming back, and we keep them mulched. I don't really need to mow, but I need to mow again because I need the grass clippings to mulch that one more time. And we'll come over here and show you these little guys. And most of our trees are doing pretty well too. Not that you can tell it because of the grass growing. We got one more after this. We got one more thing to show you. There's our red broilers. Red broilers +1. I just moved them a little bit ago. They're growing pretty good. They're 6 weeks old. Tuesday they'll be 6 weeks old. They're about 6 more weeks to finish. I think they're 12 weeks to raise them. 10 or 12, I can't remember for sure. But we'll butcher them whenever they look like they're ready to be butchered. Not really set on a schedule to butcher them, just whenever they look like they're ready. Probably, no, hopefully early to mid-August. I'm hoping to do a butcher then, but we'll see. Like I said, the trees are doing for the most part fairly well. Tops of some of them ain't coming up, but they're all right. They'll be fine. And this bed here is an experimental bed. We just seed bombed it, as you've seen. We seed bombed it, then planted a bunch of stuff in here. So, and for the most part, it looks like everything's doing all right. A lot of the kale, some of the kale down there was pulled out. I think a rabbit or something got it. I'm not sure.
But only, I think, 2.
Yeah, only 2 plants. But for the most part, this bed's doing all right. I believe that's going to wrap this one up. So If you're not subscribed, please subscribe and check out our online store. I'll leave a link to it below. We got soaps and a bunch of other stuff, so check us out. We had a fairly decent spring season at the greenhouse, so we're closed now for all you locals that want to come. We don't have anything left, or I would show you, but there's nothing in there. Well, there is some sunflowers in there we started for seed. We're going to put them down along our property line on that side. We're going to make like a wall of sunflowers. Hopefully it looks pretty cool in August or so. We won't put them in August, but that's when they'll be grown up and looking good. But anyways, as I said, we're gonna call it done here. So till we meet again, take care and God bless.